What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Little Luck Garage. My name is Lane, and per the usual, not really too sure what I'm doing most of the time. On this episode, C10 gets a brand newish engine. The Cutlass is gone, and the guy that I traded Swiss swapped the Cutlass there went ahead and brought me an engine in pieces, and we put it together. Well, that's how we met. Was just assembling an engine in my shop for this truck. So y'all have asked for me to start doing like less talking, more doing, and that's what this episode's going to be about. I have a crap ton of footage. I've done so many things, and we'll be having a lot of fun trying to edit that, but that's my problem. Anyway, I've been fighting rain here and there and getting things dry because I had to move. You'll see about the moving around the hoist. But now I got to get hoist out of here, engine down. Then I can't get the hoist under here because it's pretty much mud, but dry enough now to where I'll air the tire up and then pull that forward to about here, which is where I pulled the engine, and then we'll put the engine, push it back. It's going to get dark in about 3 hours or so, 3.5 hours, and it's going to rain all day tomorrow. So here you go. Good morning. Went ahead and it's cold this morning. Okay, now I'm in upstate South Carolina, so you know it's temperatures are right about freezing right now with the chilly wind there. The super chill wind is you know, it's below freezing. It's cold. I got the longer johns on, is what I'm saying. Layers. Okay, went ahead and splurged this morning and bought some diarrhea in a cup and couple of them bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles, 2 for 1. If that, I tell you what, if those aren't God's gift to earth, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Like, if that's not heaven, I don't want to go. Had a little deal on the McDonald's app, don't you know? 2 for 1. But it's gonna be delicious, and hopefully mentally prepare me for what's to come. Of course, like, we'll have to eat ramen for dinner. Just kidding, I won't be able to eat dinner. But I gotta, you know, we gotta pull the engine in this here Sketchy Chevy. I don't have access, it can't get to the shop because the shop's full and it's also downhill. I don't have brakes. Seems like a good a place as any to pull an engine, doesn't it? I'm cold. I had to move the taco around a little bit over here to try to serve as a wind lock. The wind is whipping, I tell you. Of course, right as I move it in front of the truck, it's right behind the camera, air up the tires on the Chevy, wind just changes directions and comes from, I don't even know if the taco is helping now or just creating a wind vortex. How do y'all live in the Midwest where it's like really cold? Like, people are like flexing like, y'all don't know, cold, it's 40 below here. I'm like, why are you bragging about that? That's terrible. I'm moving to Florida. In the last video, I went ahead and plugged my Cash App because I need some help, you know, really with like parts for the turds and stuff. But yeah, Harold Hughes went ahead and sent me a few dollars on that there Cash App, and he said, "Love the Ranchero and enjoying the C10 as well." Thank you so much, man. You have no idea. I didn't really know how to respond initially, but thank you so much. That is, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps. It is freezing, but these goosebumps are from you. Appreciate you. What you did with your, $25 donation is you bought the windshield sealant caulker deal thing, so I can put the windshield in. So thank you so much. I seriously appreciate that, just more than you know. And if any of y'all else want to support a bum, that works on turd buckets sometimes, I'll link my Cash App again, down in the old description of this video whenever it comes out, my personal one. But anyways, Harold Hughes, thank you. You're my hero. Appreciate you. If you're a bigger fella and you're self-conscious about the sweat on your head, don't be. You're just leaking sexiness, okay? They're jelly. People are jelly. That's why they're looking at you. There's a little techie tip for you. People don't necessarily think about how important your nuts and bolts are when you're working on any project. So what I like to do is, if at all possible, when you take something off, put the bolts back where they came from. You know, and try to cinch them in a little bit. Of course, this one's not. I guess the best thing you could do here would be to bag and tag. You know, and if I'm doing like a customer's vehicle or working on something fancy or nice, that's what I will do. Especially if I'm doing engines. If I'm rebuilding an engine, I take bolts out. I won't even necessarily start unless I have Ziploc bags and a Sharpie, so I can immediately bag and tag them. Cannot tell you how many projects I've had halted because I forgot a bolt. And if you really can't, or you're working on something you got to move around a bunch, you can't put the bolts back in, put those bolts like somewhere that you literally cannot miss them. Like, instead of putting tools away, I'm putting them here on the intake because they're going to be in the way later. You know what I mean? So I'll be able to get them. Anyway, techie tip for you. I'm going to try to save on some of this. Well, it's not even power steering fluid. It's actually ATF. But that stuff's expensive now, you know? So I'm going to try to just not take this off if I can, because I'm lazy and poor. Watching the latest episode of This and That Garage. By the way, it's an awesome channel. If you don't follow, you should check him out. That old timer, sorry, if he doesn't feel old, I'm sorry, you're kind of old, but that's kind of fellow that basically who I would have learned from. Of course, my dad passed when I was pretty young, so I didn't necessarily learn from him, but he did put it in my blood. So anyway, he had a saying. He was saying that when he was, you know, working on this engine stand or whatever, making this engine run, he's like, I'm gonna do all the things that I like first, so that way if I, you know, don't wake up tomorrow, you'll have died doing what you like. And I see the point there, but at the same token, I kind of disagree. I do not like doing the bell housing, flywheel, that stuff. I can't stand it. I hate, that's the worst part of this in my opinion. So I'm going to do that absolutely dead last. You know, I actually meant to say that I was disagreeing, but when I just said that, I guess I do agree. Never mind. Alright, I got updates. If you can hear me over the ferocious windstorm that's happening right now. That was fun when I was laying underneath, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, got all the bell housing bolts out. That was super fun. And the two flywheel bolts went ahead and cut off the exhaust, because let's be real, the stock manifolds are going to be stripped. I don't even know why it was worth trying, so I didn't. That's all done. Took starter off, but it's still hanging. This motor mount bolt is unbolted. I just got to jack it, slide it out. But technically the only bolt holding it in, right, the engine in, is this motor mount bolt, which I'll do. I got to get under there and take the starter, unwire it, whatever, then I can get to that bolt. Otherwise, that's all good. So as I was getting ready for the next step, I remembered, well, I was thinking I got my engine hoist, right? Well, it doesn't fit. This is another project, spoiler, I guess, I don't know. But, you know, I gotta get this old turd-gen, which is up on jacks, because I'm in the process of yanking that engine as well. I still got a little more to do. Why this one is still sitting here without the engine pulled, though, see if I can show you, is that underneath here, the ground pops up a little bit, and it may not look significant, but it's like when you lay under there, you ain't got a lot of space. So I'm gonna have to put this thing back on the ground and then roll it back. That's gonna be fun. But I only got one floor jack and it's in the shop, which is, you know, only 2 houses down, but dang it. Well, anyway, at least I can feel my toes now, so it's not all bad. There's got to be a better way of doing that. Get a friend or hire someone. Be smarter than me. I'll tell you what, there, that old taco over there, Tupaco the Taco, he did pretty well doing that. You know, it is the old Toyota pre-runner by definition, so of course it's a 2WD, but we got both of the WDs because it's got the factory rear diff lock and plenty of torque. 6 in the V, good to, that ought to do. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's pull the engine. There are ways to do things when you're just by your lonesome. Although everything is more fun and easier and better when you got a buddy. But keep on keeping on, you know? This episode of It Ain't Stupid If It Works, we're going straight in the frame, the right way. Of course, this time we have the I'm not asking gas, you know. So, just as usual, be safer than me, you know. Don't be stupid like I am. But at the same time, I know what I'm doing. All right. Well, that's 2 times there, and it's about as straight as it's going to get. I figure it's probably still maybe an inch out of whack. I don't know. I should really probably fix that. It's going to make alignment on the fenders and whatnot real tough, but we'll see. So, Cutlass just took away, exchanged a little bit of the paper stuff, but this is the real surprise. Did you know it's an old workhorse here? The old Malibooster, you know what I'm saying? Impala. Shut up, I'll edit it out, it's fine. You know?
Her name's Eleanor.
Eleanor, right?
Like the Mustang.
I'm gonna use this here engine stand that I just pulled off, put an engine on it for the first time in like at least 12 years. Okay, go. In case y'all didn't catch on what we're doing here, you bring small block in the Impala in the back of the bed, you know, in the bed of it, you know what I mean? In the trunker thing, the boot, what is it? I'm not sure, the back. That cabinet is when you bring it over to here. And, you know, we got pistons out of some block from something else. You know, this is how you build small blocks. If you put together a small block Chevy in perfect ideal conditions, what are you even doing?
You're not doing it right. Okay.
I built, the first small block I ever built was in a bathtub, to be honest with you. But got some stuff over here, got some heads over here.
I'm real partial to the backyard.
You know what I mean? It's when I'm at my roots, when I'm underneath, you know, no concrete. Some push rod thing, you know. Got some stuff. We're just gonna, this fella here. Oh wait, this is Patrick.
Hey.
This is the dude I was telling you about on, if y'all saw my last video where I introduced goals for this Ranchero. Well, I was right when he and I had just agreed on a deal after tons and tons and tons of talking on Marketplace. This first time I actually met him. But dope kid, you're in what, automotive tech school right now?
Yes. Yeah. I'm actually in my second year.
All right, so what are you, like, what, 19 if you don't mind?
I'm 18. I'm 18. 19.
Dude, that's awesome. Even all the better, you know what I mean? Just a compliment, you know what I mean? He acts older, a little bit older his age. But young hot rodder, dad daily drives it, you know, a square body, so does he outside of this.
I'll run a square body too.
You know what I mean? So, and he's gonna take that Cutlass and go hurt some feelings on the street with it. And I mean, it's exactly what I wanted to go to. I'd like to be able to have made this a free deal, you know what I mean? But he's helping the channel, new subscriber.
I enjoy watching the video, I don't care.
So, anyway, we're gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna record, if I'm gonna time lapse yet, okay? You'll find out in a few seconds. I'm not sure, but we're gonna do things here, okay? Cool. Bye.
Crazy, but I like to do it straight on like this, and that'll hold. Where's that little pressing?
That's fine. Time to stick some pistons in. Just went and numbered them, so they're all ready to go. Already been cleaned. We'll do another one wipe down too, but let's slap it together. All right. Well, it's another day again. I had to wait for parts, bearings, and things. But I got everything I have now. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the door closed, I think, even on the shop, set up some decent light. So I'm just gonna do everything one by one, but got 2 pistons left. They're sitting in the order that they need. Put a bearing here, slide it in. Got little tubular dudes just to throw over the end caps. Anyways, gonna do that. I really should have, or the right thing to do would have been to clean the deck surfaces before doing all of this. But since I am where I am, I'm going to go ahead and put those 2 cylinder pistons in, then go ahead and clean the deck surfaces while trying to keep that clean, but we'll clean that again. Then we'll go ahead and do, put those in, clean, turn it, torque, work our way out. Now, I need to go remove some, or free up some memory space on my cards. So, and this little bout, I don't know how much I'm going to film. But cue time-lapse-y type perhaps thing, or just updates when I work on stuff. Okay, thanks, bye. Well, it's been a little bit, and I just got the oil pan on and pseudo-torqued. Had a hard time finding some bolts. The guy had brought over a thing of bolts that he took out of it, and then an extra thing of bolts, which I'm super thankful about because I've already had to dive in there a couple times. Had to make some sketchy stuff work for the oil pump bolt, but I was still able to get it torqued, and we used washers, which you definitely shouldn't, but we did. So that's fine. But I think I'm getting ready to put the heads on. So I'm gonna clean these deck surfaces and clean the engine block again. Actually, I'll probably stick some paper towels even down on the lifter bores. Because I'm gonna try to clean this a little bit, and then I gotta clean the head surfaces. And slow as she goes. Just got done torquing these heads down. I'm torquing them 65 foot-pounds. But I like to always make me a little cheat sheet so I know which order to go. And that's just because the one on my phone will, turn off because of the screensaver. This is a cheap and easy way. Just make sure you get the right order down. But got that little torque down. Probably gonna go ahead and throw on the timing cover. And then, I don't know, maybe intake. Well, gotta do lifters, which are soaking in that oil. So I'll do timing chain cover and then probably lifters. Whew, getting a little warm here in the shop, but this wind is howling and it's been raining off and on, so not doing a ton of filming in here, but put the heads on and torqued, new intake gaskets, and not all the bolts are in. I just kind of snugged some down to make the, to tack up some of the RTV in there pretty much. The silicone, the sticky stuff. Yeah, sorry, I'm tired and hungry. Anyway, so I'll torque that whatever to spec later, but that is just make it sticky. I had to get a new oil pan gasket, which I realized after I got this far, because I can see in there. Forgot that little thing. So I'll flip it over and do that, but I can do the rest of it anyway. So I am currently perfectly cleaning these push rods. By that I mean I'm just rubbing them down, a little bit of a Scotch-Brite pad. I'll squirt some brake clean through it, just make sure they're all good and clean. So I got those because I got the lifters in, so I'll throw all that stuff in, tighten those suckers down. I'm just gonna put them into like finger tight essentially now. I'll actually torque them once I get like a flywheel or a crank or something like that on. But you know, taking a lot longer than I think it should have. It's fine. But yeah, we're getting there, okay? It's another day. Working on getting this small lock together, and needed a different oil pan gasket because I didn't really have one. Needed a harmonic balancer bolt because I didn't have one. Needed a oil or temperature sensor switch thing. Didn't have one. And I needed a push rod. Well, I had to order a bunch of that stuff because I didn't have it. And I just got out the oil pan up. Well, started with going back in and torquing the cam sprocket bolts because I forgot to do that. And then trying to put the flywheel on, just immediately stripped the threads that were super gummed up. So that's good. So I'm gonna have to basically, that brand new bolt that I just bought is now stripped, which is, let me see if I can find it, show y'all. Just pull the threads. So I did try to tap it, but I didn't have the right tap, and it's all gummed up. So now I'm gonna need it. My only chance at this one is a Healy coil. So that's fine. Things are going great. I got the oil pan gasket, it's the wrong one. Good times, right? Went ahead and got some push rods in from the parts store. These are of course the wrong kind. These are ball bearing ones for like a hydraulic cam with roller lifters. This is a flat tappet, so I'm sure that's going to be just fine. Just kidding, probably hurt something, but I'll change it later because that's what I got. Go ahead and throw those in. I mean, this one's not very hard to get to. This whole side's pretty easy to get to when it's in the truck, so I got those ones tight, so I'll pop those in real quick. Well, put those push rods in right away, no problem, and realized that I had the oil pump shaft that goes to the distributor sitting here, so I was like, better go ahead and drop that in. I missed. Straight to the oil pan, thump at the bottom. So now I gotta flip it over, take out the oil pan. Why? Well, all right. There it is. Mostly assembled small block. Had to take off the oil pan again, redo that. And just mount this bolt with the one on the other side over yonder. On the corner is just stripped out. Well, really both of them aren't really tight. So basically I'm sure that's great. You know, feel like that should be a nut or a bolt or something on that rear main seal. Maybe I'll give those a snug down a little bit before I throw the flywheel on. This thing's gonna leak oil, let me tell you. I think the only thing I have left to do technically is I just put the intake back on and redid the china walls, cinched down the corners so I can get that to tack up a bit. Mate, but I think I'm about to redo that. I didn't center them down and didn't torque them right. Centers are up. because on this one over here, you can't get the socket in there. What are you doing, Elbrock? So I might Dremel it out, but I don't have one right now, but I can do that over there. So aside from that, it's good for transport is what I'm saying. But the oil pan, it's gonna leak. Valve covers, well, they're shot, they're gonna leak. So, whatever, we're gonna send it. Also for the stock oil sending unit, forgot to take off the little fitting from the other motor. Had this one laying around the shop, but I'm pretty sure that it's not the right thread size. So, that's gonna be really fun when the engine's installed as well. So I'm kind with the intake on. I just got a feeling the intake might come off again. Y'all should make sure to, I made one of them Instafaces or Instagram, I think it is, whatever that one. I made one, and it's Little Garage. Y'all should follow me or something if you feel like it. Foreseeing many issues with aligning the transmission, but there's nothing to do it but to do it. Transmission just popped out of its mouth. That's why it's so sideways. That's not good. Now that I got my floor jacked to the transmission, that rear transmission mount is absolutely obliterated. While it probably was old and probably on the way out, I'm sure that I obliterated it by not having it the transmission properly jacked up when I pulled the engine out. Lesson learned from me. You cannot or should not do this without a floor jack. So, lesson learned. Many days have passed. Things happened. I did, however, manage to get the old clamshell. They're cleaning, obviously. Got their clamshell deals, so I can work on this thing again. It's super muddy. Been raining. Good old Carolinas for you. So I'm gonna crawl on the mud today. No big deal. I just uncovered this thing, and good thing that I don't have to, like, or theoretically shouldn't have to move it. I just kind of maybe need to jack it up, kind of, so I can get those. You know, that's not how it's supposed to. Not really supposed to be like that, but anyways, if I jack that up, theoretically, maybe that'll. I'm sure that's fine. Did these get wet? No, they didn't. It's fine. I tell you what, though, things are funny, you know, and life is. Been a little while since I posted a video, and as I'm hustling deep inside a few videos right now, I lost monetization on Facebook, on the YouTubes. Turns out my ID was expired. I didn't know that. Well, I need to change residencies because I don't live in where my license was, and that's just a whole debacle, you know. So having to go through and do that hard. There's little challenges with getting a new ID in a state that you don't technically have bills going to. Hard to prove, you know, struggles. Anyways, I got, let's get this thing, I want to make it run. You can see I got some really nice headers for it. They came with the truck. I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and take out the plugs that are just loosely in there, and see if I can get those on. Maybe it would be wise if I did the starter first. I want to make this as easy as possible, so I think I'm going to put the starter in first. We got a throttle body, or a carburetor spacer now. Can you see me? I got a carb spacer now because we got horsepowers, you know. You saw me fumbling with the distributor a little bit. What I did off camera was look down in that hole, stick a big screwdriver down in there, and just turn the line it up with cylinder numero uno like I wanted it to, and then the distributor slid right in. Always pretty easy to just stick a flashlight down there and look down in where the shaft is, and then wherever your rotor is, wherever it's pointing, that's in line with that little shaft. So always pretty easy. Now, you saw little bits and pieces. I didn't really film a lot of like the rebuild of this carburetor, but I think I got it good enough. I'm getting close to being able to like fire it. Just fire it, obviously, because I don't have any water or anything like that, and the transmission leaked quite a bit of fluid out, so I really don't want to run it for super duper long, is what I'm saying. But once I get this inch down, well, I mean, I have like 5 ounces of gas, maybe 8. Today's flavor of oil is Castrol GTX high mileage, because it's what I had laying around. I usually run 1540 like the old, you know who. I've been running that stuff forever as well. It's cheap, everyone always has it, and it's good, you know. I think it's dinosaurs and stuff, I'm not sure. But I think I got some of the old zinc additive stuff I'll probably throw in here as well. The cam that's in here, it's not brand new. It's got like 1,000 miles on it or something like that. So technically it's broke in. but the lifters were newish, but not put in the right, they weren't numbered or anything like that. So we're gonna kind of reseat the lifters a little bit. And just for that reason, I want to use a little bit of zinc additive. But I put a Napa Gold filter in there. Yeah, that's Wix, don't you know? STP improves performance. Zinc, that's what I want. And this stuff is sludge. So I went ahead and lost the pessimistic cable, the negative cable. So we're gonna do some Sketchy vice grip stuff. But the real question is, like, I got a lot of, I don't know if the starter's right. I think I got some grounds that aren't grounding, but I just don't necessarily know. Oh, what do you got going here? So what I don't know is if this is gonna work at all. Oh, hey, it does. So since that's going to turn, maybe, I think I got the, well, I can already find something that's not right. There's a hole in this fuel bowl. One of them sight thingers, dealios. So that's going to hold us up. I need to go back to the shop, grab a little plug thing, and we'll be right back. Well, I have that much gas. Well, there's gas in there and the pumpers aren't working, but maybe it'll bark off or something. Okay, maybe. Yes. Yes. It started, and it started kind of easily too. Is it leaking? I just threw the rest of the ounce or two of gas I had left in there. Let's see if it'll start again. I ain't got no more of the gas. A little bit of cleaner. Just kidding. Oh man, it runs. I can't believe it. Well, I think that's actually going to do it for this episode. We may have essentially ended this one like exactly where the very first episode on this ended. Sure. But this is better. We didn't have an insane amount of smoke. It wasn't dead miss. I mean, this engine's good, actually. It fired fairly easily. Who knows on the timing, you know what I mean? But it's close enough, obviously. So we got this one back running. Now, obviously, there's an insane amount of work to do yet. Follow me on the Insta Faces or something if you want to see like little snippets in between here and the next video on it. But this video is already super duper long. I got an immense amount of editing to do to try to shorten this feller down a little bit. But success. It runs. I can move forward. I don't even know what direction because there's so many things to do. But anywho or what, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and want to see more of the C10, let me know in the comments. I mean, I'm going to do it anyways, but I'd like to know if y'all want to see it. But hopefully the next video I'll do is going to be on the Ranchero. I'm deep into another video on that right now. I'm just kind of dancing in between the rain and the weather and whatnot. So when it rains, I'm pretty much over there and then what have yous. So when this video posts, hopefully I'll be pretty close to the completion of the Ranchero video. So I'll have that one coming. And then we'll be leapfrogging back and forth between this and the Ranchero. And I got a couple other little things in the mix I'm still working on. Anyway, sorry for the long delay in videos. Times are a little tough, but we're making it happen. I did actually make a Cash App. If any of y'all feel so inclined to support the builds, support the channel, you know, I'm still very low on subs and not making any money really. I'll link my Cash App in the description of this video. It's just my personal one. Obviously no hard feelings, you know what I mean? I don't expect much, but a few of you actually did catch that in my last video and send me some monies, and that's even why we're here and why I'm still continuing. So thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. She runs. Shop truck? Maybe like a tribute to the Roadkill muscle truck? I don't know. But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time, all right? Little Luck Garage, out.